Are you earning what you're worth? Now, what's an interesting question? My name is Donna Christie. I'm the founder of NESLIB, which is Northeast Scotland Ladies and Lads in Business. And today we're interviewing one of our amazing new members, Kerry Holden. And Kerry's going to share a little bit about her and her business. And I can't wait for that question to be answered. So, hi, Kerry. I hope you're well today.
Morning, yes, good to be here. Thank you very much.
Excellent. So, Kerry, obviously we know your name. Just share with everybody, where you are, a little bit background, and your company.
Okay, thanks. So, yeah, as you say, my name's Kerry. I live in Inverurie in Aberdeenshire. I'm married. I've got 2 daughters and a stepdaughter, all teenagers. So, yeah, my husband keeps telling me he needs a bigger shed. So I'm primarily, actually, my background is finance, working in accounts and things. And that was up to about 3.5 years ago when I actually had a breakdown. The stress just got all too much, as is unfortunately a very familiar story. And I decided to completely retrain, which I did. Did massage therapy, and then realised that people were being drawn to me that had stress, tension, all the rest of it. But actually, what they really needed to get to the bottom of, like I had, was what was going on up here and what they think about themselves, what they believe about themselves, and just that inner work. That's led me to coaching. And from that, I decided that the niche, like that I want to specialise in, is all around money mindset, and as you say, earning your wealth, because so many of us just can't. And there's no reason to not be. It's all about up here, all about the mindset.
Exactly. I'm from corporate, oil as well background, and I did just say to you a while back that I had this mental block that I earned X amount, and when I started my business, I found it very difficult to go over that threshold because my mindset was like, well, that's all you ever earn. And then as the profit came in, I thought, ooh, okay, there's more to it than so excellent. So you're based in Inverurie and that. So you're working with sole traders, independent. You were doing businesses. Where's the?
Yeah. So at the moment, I've been working with a couple of people who are about to start a business and they want to kind of get their head in the right place. And I've worked with people that have been in business for a while. And the thing with the money mindset that I find so fascinating is it's like your brain is like an onion. You've got all these different layers. Each time you reach a new income or finance level, new limiting beliefs and stories that we tell ourselves pop up. We think we've got right. That's it. I've done it all now. I've sorted all the crap, and then you kind of get to that next level, and you create another like invisible glass ceiling, and then you're like, oh my gosh, and you go back and revisit. So it's a constant process, really, and that's the great thing about it is that you learn the tools to be able to understand how it works, but like anything, we're never really very good at doing it to applying stuff to ourselves. We're really good at helping other people. We're never so good at helping ourselves.
So I guess sometimes people can feel guilty when they're earning a lot of money. I shouldn't be earning so much money. This isn't right.
Yes.
And that is your mindset, isn't it? But
definitely, and that's the thing with mindset is I used to think that your mindset was just thinking positively, and that is just such a tiny fraction of, as you say, your mindset. Your mindset is part of your identity. It's part of who you are and how you think, and based on your belief system. And you're absolutely right. There are lots of people that are like, oh, I'm helping people. I shouldn't be charging lots of money for it. But my husband's always been the main breadwinner. I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable, or I would feel uncomfortable earning more than him. Or always brought up from a poor family, So having money, everybody would be like, ooh, look at her. Look at
exactly.
Her. There's that judgment, fear of being judged. And a very real fear, which was actually mine when I started digging into it, was fear of abandonment. I was worried that I was going to outgrow my family and my loved ones, and that they wouldn't, as I became a improved best version of myself, I would leave them behind, and I was so scared they would abandon me. That's what was stopping me from growing. So when you start looking at this kind of work, it's all very quite complex issue, and it's so much more than just thinking positive.
I remember I was on a course one time, and the guy said, you know, if you have a problem with money, he said, just earn it anyway, and if you don't want to, give it away. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, if you've got that feeling that you need to give back, then whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, for me, you know, money, it is important because we all have bills. I mean, that's a reality conversation. And you know, if you want stuff, then you know, you're allowed, right? So like,
yeah, and what often happens is
yourself up.
People get to a certain point with their income and they're like, well, I don't want for anything, I have everything I need. And then they can't understand why they can't expand their business, or they can't bring in more money, because they're putting that message out there that they've got everything that they need. So very much your talk, how you talk about money, how you feel about money, what you think about money. And as you say, the more money you have, the more good you can do. And then strange concepts come up that people think money is evil, that money will corrupt you. But all that money does is it enhances what you already are. It's just the culture that we live in. The news only reports generally on all the rubbishy bad stuff. You don't hear people very often. I mean, there was something I was telling a client who lives down in England the other day about the local food bank that had been lost a lot of food, and the local business donated money to them. And I was like, what a great thing to be able to do.
Exactly.
And when you've got money, whether it's your business that's got money or you personally got money, you can do that kind of thing. You can help. There's enough money. And the big thing with this year is a lot of people have obviously struggled, and it's, you know, it's been quite difficult. However, a lot of people have really thrived. A lot of people have started their own business. They've grown their business. They've, you know, money hasn't stopped. There's not been a big black hole that sucks all the money out of the world. It's still there. It's just people have stopped spending it. And so with money, there's a flow. It always has to flow. It's an energy, money. And so spending money is an energy exchange. And I had a client who was really struggled with the concept of having a lot of money and spending money on himself. And he was thinking about learning to fly, and he was like, but it's so extravagant. And I'm like, okay, so you earn enough money that you can have flying lessons. I said, so you then are paying that instructor. That's then enabling him to maybe send his kids on a school trip, or to be able to go on holiday, or he passes that on forward. He goes and spends in more shops. Those shops can then employ their staff. So it's that knock-on effect. That's the flow of money.
Exactly. And I mean, you know, you're a part of NESLIB and new to that, and networking and all the rest of it. But, you know, that's for me always been the foundation of NESLIB, is for people, you know, with small businesses, local, to succeed. And when people buy from a small business or a sole trader, they're doing exactly what you've just said. You know,
Yes.
It's not about they're driving the Porsche Cayenne or everything. They may just want their kids to have something better, or, you know, private education, or, you know, and it's whatever is important to you, right? In my world. And if you can give back, then fantastic. But, you know, yeah, money's not a bad thing. I don't see it as a bad thing.
No, it's not. And money,
how you use it as well, I guess.
Definitely. It just, as I say, it enhances who you already are. If you're a great person that gives money, then you can give more money, you know, and you can do more good with it. And it's interesting. I was reading something the other day that said that with money, people that give services or themselves, or, you know, people that are in this kind of caring, coaching, looking after others industry, tend to be really good at giving and not very good at receiving. And it really made me think, because he said, for every giver there has to be a receiver, and for every receiver there has to be a giver. It's like day and night. You've got that balance. It's got to be there. It's important. And if you're blocking yourself off to receiving, that includes money. You're blocking yourself from receiving money. And it made me think. I was doing a chat in a Facebook group earlier in the week, and I said to the people on there, I said, if you were to offer to give something and somebody rejected it, and you knew that you could help them, or it was your child, or, you know, something, how would it feel? And they were all like, oh yeah, that wouldn't be very nice.
Exactly.
You're doing that by not receiving. You are denying a giver. You're not throwing it back in their face. That's a little bit brutal, but you're denying that person the opportunity to be able to give.
Yeah.
So receiving is just as important as giving, and be that your time or love, or because what it comes down to when we talk about money is it very often when you start stripping back the layers, it's people think they're not worthy.
Exactly.
It all comes down to self-worth.
So are you earning what you're worth is quite a good line, right? To get not so much people's attention, but just maybe have a think to yourself. Am I actually, am I earning what I'm worth?
Yes.
So what I would say is get a hold of Kerry and have a chat with Kerry. I know we've chatted, and how does your business flow? How do people get in touch? I know we'll put your details up after the video is out, but I know you said that you have an online thing and then a consultation. How does that work, Kerry? Just give
so I use a tool called Sacred Money Archetypes, and what I ask people to do is a free assessment. It's online. I ask them to just go through it. It takes about 7 or 8 minutes. It's loads of questions, and at the end you get an email and it gives you your archetype, and it rates them by your score from how you answer questions. And there's 8 different archetypes, and it's not like the horoscopes, you are this type and this, very vague. We look at the top 3 and how those top 3 are all blended together. I have yet to find somebody I've done a reading for that has not been able to resonate on most part of what I've said. And it can really make people go, oh my God, you get me. But more than that, they get them. Because the important thing for people to understand is how you do money is how you do everything. And it took me a while to get my head around that, but it's so, so, so true. And so you may be having conflicts in yourself. You might go out and spend lots of money and then feel really bad, and then, all that sort of stuff. Once you realize that's the way that you're wired, you learn what your gifts are, what your strengths are, but also what your challenges are. Because like anything, once you shine the light on those challenges, you know what they are, you can go ahead to start doing the work that is necessary. So that's the opening kind of introduction that I do. And from that, people can then book a 45-minute free call with me where we do go through that archetypes. I give them a reading, kind of find out a little bit more about
did you just say that call is then free after they've done online? Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing.
Yeah, because I feel that people, when it comes to money, it's a very personal thing. And I feel that people need to be able to trust the person that they're going to invest in. And yes, I've got an online presence and I try and do videos and things like that. But I want to really be able to connect with that person. I want to know that I can help that person. But more importantly, that person feels comfortable with me and believes that I can help them go from a place that they're in to having a better relationship with money and creating whatever it is they want to create. The financial freedom is usually called.
I mean, in all coaching businesses, whatever the coaching structure is, that is for me one of the most important necessities is building trust.
Yes.
Because we're, like you, there to help change people's lives, right? So building that trust is, for me, is an important factor. And what you've just said, how you're doing that, and I do exactly the same. We do an evaluation. And just build that trust and find out how can we help you. So that assessment, that sounds amazing. So after this, I've already told you I'm in a good place today, and I'm definitely not earning what I'm worth. I have a check, actually. I have a virtual check on my window, okay, and it's something I look at every day. So I'm a bit of a put it out there and we'll see what happens, right? And it doesn't matter how long it takes us to get there, right?
No, it's the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have a magic check as well. I do the same. I write it out the first of every month. I put it up on my board so I see it every day. I very much believe in the law of attraction.
Yeah.
And the law of attraction, is all about you get more of what you focus on.
Exactly. It's like if somebody says I can't afford that, you're like, oh, you're right.
Yeah. And I tell you, Donna, one of the ones that I've recently clocked onto that I always share with people is that a lot of people say I've got money saved for a rainy day, and just by
Today's a good one. Let's go spend some. Right, it's raining. Oh dear.
yeah, but just by saying that, you're putting out there that you expect to hit the fans,
Yeah.
but yeah, you expect even
Exactly.
things to go wrong. So
Well,
why not say that you've just got some savings to spend on something you want to enjoy? It's just
I guess that even with that sentence, are you earning what you're worth? And someone says, no, I'm not earning what you're worth. We could say, I'm going to go and earn what I'm worth. It's changing your language, isn't it, as well?
It is. Yes, absolutely.
It absolutely is. Well, I think it's amazing. I can't wait to do the online little test and see where I go. I can't wait. We'll come back to you with another interview, see what happened to poor Donna. No, it's a great concept. And I'm glad that we've connected, and I know you'll have value in NESLIB and in other people's lives. So for now, Kerry, we'll get your details. Like I say, you can pop that on after we put this up on social media. But for now, Kerry, take care, be safe, and thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thank you very much.
Take care.